Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel Gardening Asset. Today I am going to share all the information that I know on coco peat as well as the peat moss. So stay tuned. Coco peat is the powder form of the cocoa fiber, which is a byproduct of a coconut husk, generally available all over India and Sri Lanka. Peat moss, on other hand, comes from the peat box or marshes filled with the decomposed sphagnum moss, as you can see on the screen. Most of the peat moss is exported to India, resulting in little higher price hike than of the cocoa peat of the same weight. I will show you which company peat moss I have. As you can see here, I have used the company from the Casa de Amor, Sphagnum peat moss. It cost me 799 rupees for 5 kg of the peat moss, while cocoa peat costed me 399 rupees. The cocoa peat has to be decomposed first in order to get similar material of the peat moss. To know if the cocoa peat that has been brought from the store is decomposed or not, it is very simple. After wetting it, it should get similar texture to that of the manure of the dark black color, and it also should look fluffy. If it isn't, then don't worry, even mine is also not decomposed. This cocoa peat is not decomposed, but it will when used in potting mix, but I have to wait for 6 months to decompose. This is where peat moss shines because it occurs already decomposed. Now talking about the sustainability and water retention. Cocoa peat is more sustainable than peat moss because cocoa peat is a byproduct of coconut husk and grows back in no time. But peat moss takes hundreds of years to be formed. For water retention, cocoa peat holds 8 to 9 times of water more than its weight, while peat moss holds 10 to 20 times of water to its weight. Both have very good air circulation, but peat moss get compressed very hard. You can see here how hard it gets. It gets like very clumpy and stone-like texture. This makes suffocation to the roots of the plants. Now moving on the salt contents and the pH value of the peat moss and the cocoa peat. Cocoa peat has very high potassium salt contents, which can result in calcium deficiency in the plants, leading to the curling of young leaves, leaf burning, damaged in fruits or bur, also known as blossom and rot. This is very most commonly seen in tomatoes. For pH of cocoa peat, it has general pH between 6.5 and 6.8, making neutral in nature. Peat moss doesn't have any salt content as such because it is not further processed like cocoa peat. As far as pH goes, peat moss has slightly higher acidic in nature, resulting in range between 3.3 to 4.0. This is too acidic, but acid-loving plants such as tomato and all citrus fruits families thrive in it. Generally, lime is added to make the concentration little bit lower. As generally speaking, plants do well in neutral pH as well. That's found in cocoa peat. Let's find out the pH of the cocoa peat and also of the peat moss. Here I have the pH meter. I will be first putting the cocoa peat in this water. First, let's see how much the water retention of cocoa peat will be. I will be adding this cocoa peat to the glass filled with water, as well as the peat moss filled in glass filled with water. Let's see how much water do they take in and how long it takes. I have put holes in both of the cup to make the water absorbent easy. Till the color is light brown in both of the cocoa peat and peat moss. Let's see how long will it take to change the color from light brown to dark brown, as well as dark brown to black in peat moss. I'm doing this to make sure water enters through the holes from all the sides. You can see slight change in the peat moss. It's changing its color. As well as coco peat has already soaked so much of water. Let me take it out. Now you can see peat moss has also absorbed all the water. I'm going to take both of this out. Let's see how much water each has absorbed. I'm going to put it in this cup. As you can see, both the peat moss and coco peat has absorbed enough water. Now I'm going to take out and let's see how much water each has absorbed. I'll be keeping this in this cup. I'll show you why later. Peat moss has managed to drain out the water very quickly, whereas coco peat still hasn't managed to put out water. Now let's do the pH test. I'll be taking the water from the coco peat, which has absorbed the moisture, and I'm going to squeeze out the water from it. As you can see, I have collected so much of coco peat water. Now I'll be doing same thing for the peat moss. Now let's do the pH test of the coco peat first. I have a pH meter and I'm going to dip this inside the coco peat. As you can see, the pH comes to be 7.25. And the salt content is 800 because I have washed it 3 times, or else the salt contents would be very high. Now let's do the same test for the peat moss. For that I will have to wash this pH meter in some water. After washing it, you can see the pH of my water is pH of my water is 6.63 or 65. It's pH neutral. Now let's see the pH of the now let's check the pH of the peat moss. You can see it comes to be 6.87. That means it's slightly acidic. It's good for the acid loving plants such as tomatoes and all the other citrus family plants. I have put some advantages and disadvantages on the screen. The cost of the peat moss and the coco peat varies from country to country. In my country, the coco peat is cheaper than the peat moss. It may be opposite in your country. The disadvantages of coco peat, I can see that it is not decomposed first of all, and coco peat has very high salt contents. I have washed this coco peat 3 times. So the coco peat test when I have done, it shows 800 microsiemens per centimeter. It is very low. But if you have washed it 1 time, you can see the pH will be very high. I have shown in the screen. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, consider liking it. And if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing it. And also press the bell icon. So whenever I put new video, you will get to know about it. Thank you.